everybody, my name is Tanya and welcome to the third installment of my bookshelf tour. So in this one we're moving on to the middle of my three bookshelves and focusing on the top three shelves that you can see here. And this is the bookshelf where it becomes abundantly clear just how obsessed with penguin designer Bickford-Smith I am. So basically everything on this entire bookshelf has been designed by Bickford-Smith. There's one collection that's on one of the lower shelves that isn't, and I will identify that one when I come to it. But in general, this is my massive, big Bickford-Smith obsessive collection, and I love it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this bookshelf is where we see the most organisation of any of my shelves. We have the Agatha Christie's that are ordered chronologically, so that's obviously organised. But this shelf is ordered by Penguin Collection, then it's ordered by author last name and then title. So we'll be starting up at the A's and working all the way through. So obviously we're starting here with the Penguin Clothbound Classic Editions, and yes, I've amassed a huge collection of these, so let's start going through them. So we start with Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, then we move on to Jane Austen with Emma, Love and Friendship and Other Youthful Writing, or Love and Friendship as the title actually says, Mansfield Park, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, and Sense and Sensibility. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and I've shown this cover a few times on my channel. I think it's one of the most stunning of the Clothbound classics. I think it's just beautiful. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. Then we move on to Charles Dickens with Bleak House, A Christmas Carol and Other Christmas Writings, David Copperfield, Great Expectations, which is another of my favourite of the Clothbound classics, Oliver Twist, and lastly on this shelf, Hard Times. So onto the second shelf, there's one last Charles Dickens, and that is A Tale of Two Cities. I did have them all fitting on one shelf, but I have recently added the Jane Austen short collection, and that pushed Dickens down onto the next. So that's not ideal, but anyway. Dante's Inferno, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, Middlemarch by George Eliot, Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert, Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell, Far from the Maiden Crowd by Thomas Hardy, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, The Iliad by Homer, and The Odyssey by Homer, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, The Jungle Books by Rudyard Kipling, Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence, Moby Dick by Herman Melville, Paradise Lost by John Milton, Metamorphosis by Ovid, and lastly for this shelf, The Sonnets and A Lover's Complaint by William Shakespeare. But wait, there's more Clothbound classics. Okay, so on the third shelf we have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, The Pearl by John Steinbeck, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, and then my last Clothbound classic edition, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Okay, next we're on to Bickford-Smith's gorgeous F. Scott Fitzgerald collection, The Beautiful and the Damned, Flappers and Philosophers, The Great Gatsby, The Last Tycoon, Tender is the Night, and This Side of Paradise. Then comes something that I've shown on my channel quite a few times, so if you're watching for any length of time it won't be new to you, but that is the glorious Arabian Nights Tales of the Thousand and One Nights box set. And I think it's just stunning. About a year ago I started reading through this and got kind of halfway through the first volume and then stalled. I was going to be reading a night. That kept up for a couple of months and then, yeah, hoping to get back to it at some point though. Next up is a tiny little thing you can't actually see from this angle now I realise, but perfectly fits in, and it's something from my birthday book haul. and that is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. And then the book standing up at the end there is part of a boys' adventure set that Bickford-Smith has designed. And so that consists of The 39 Steps by John Buchan, and Greenmantle by John Buchan, Tarzan of the Apes by Edgar Rice Burroughs, The Man Who Was Thursday by G.K. Chesterton, The Riddle of the Sands by Erskine Childers, The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, The Exploits and Adventures of Brigadier Gerard by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, She by H. Rider Haggard, The Prisoner of Zenda by Anthony Hope, Rupert of Hentzau by Anthony Hope, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, yes, a second copy of Treasure Island, and Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. And so that concludes the third part of my bookshelf tour, and in part 4 I'll go through the rest of my Bickford-Smith collection. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!